Hello, hello, Just Gem here and welcome, or indeed welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a, revisit to Trigwell Cosmetics. Bit of backstory. I bought a set, it was like the Peachy Keen set from Trigwell Cosmetics through TikTok. So here it is, I've still got it. And that's what it looks like on the inside, and I will link to the original video that I did. Long story short, I did not like this palette at all. Now, I do hold my hands up, I probably fell into that TikTok trap, and all of the darker creators were there doing their videos and putting on this blush, and I don't know if it's a combination of lighting or they were just telling bold-faced lies, but they were just giving the impression that it was a kind of blush that was going to work on a deeper skin tone. And seeing as I was on the hunt for a peachy type blush for myself, and this kept popping up, I thought to myself, do you know what, against my better judgment, because I suspected the pigment was too white leaning, I picked it up. Didn't like it, wasn't impressed, did a video to say as much, and I think the next day, because usually I'll post on IG whenever I do a review, I'll show my thumbnail and I'll say like, new video here, click the link, watch here, and I tag the company because I just do. And Trigwell saw it, they actually watched the video, saw I didn't like it, and were like, that's terrible, how about we send you some things that you would enjoy. So obviously I said, yeah, sure, not really thinking much of it at the time, and I kind of thought I'll probably get a blush in a jiffy bag somewhere down the line. Imagine my surprise when a matter of days later this massive box turns up in the post. Now you can tell by the size of it that that's not just going to be one blush. Let me tell you what was inside that box. 2 setting powders. I've not opened either of these because I've actually got one of the items in the Peachy Keen bundle that I got was a setting powder, and I am actually using that. So I find that when I use a darker concealer under my eyes, if I then want to add a bit of brightness, I can go in with this number 2 peachy setting powder and it helps to brighten things up. Ordinarily that would be too light, but that's how I've been using it and I've been liking it for that. The other items that were in there were not 1, not 2, not 3, not even 4, but for 5 blushes, 5 of them. So I believe this is their old style packaging, and this is the new one, and right off the bat I don't know why they've changed it. I think I prefer this. So like, this has got this weird kind of fold here, and that's what the blush looks like on the inside, whereas with the old style packaging it's just a square compact with a round pan, and it's got a little mirror in the front. This new one has ditched the mirror. I much prefer the old style packaging, to be perfectly honest. And then also inside was a Shimmer Soufflé liquid highlighter, illumination liquid, in the shade Lava Lady. So I believe that this is a body shimmer, but you can use it as a liquid highlighter, and that's how I've been using it. I've recorded myself just using these now and then, so I'll show you the footage now as I'm kind of talking through this. I think the first footage that's coming up is me using Pretty Privilege and Mulberry Muse. I thought when I first got these and I was looking at the shades, when I was eyeballing them, I was trying to guess in my mind which ones I would prefer. I didn't think I'd like Pretty Privilege, but the more I've used it actually, the more I do quite like it, and it may have toppled Mulberry Muse, and I'm grouping these together just because they're the ones in the similar new packaging. As for the older packaging, I think Tropic Like It's Hot is perhaps too much on the orangey side. I think probably out of the old school packaging, Sunset Sally, which is the one I'm going to apply today, might be my favourite. I think it's between Sunset Sally and Burning Up, to be honest. Tropic Like It's Hot might be just a little too orange, but I think I do still quite like that one. But today it's going to be Sunset Sally, so I'm going to demo that, and then I don't know how well Lava Lady is going to apply as a liquid highlight with it, but we're going to see. We're going to do it. We're going to see what it looks like. I don't think I've done that particular combo yet, but I want to demo the blush and the highlighter so that you can see it. So this, as I said, is Sunset Sally, which I think what I'm going to do is, when I'm editing this and I'm seeing the footage of myself applying these shades, I'll probably put a caption on to let you know which one I've decided is my favourite. But yeah, I mean, can you see that? It's pretty, isn't it? Sunset Sally. And I think Sunset Sally, or maybe it's Tropic Like It's Hot, is most like what I was hoping Peachy Keen would be. I think it's Tropic Like It's Hot. It's like how I thought Peachy Keen would be. Oh, Refa, shedding as per. I've been using these a lot just so I can form a solid opinion and sort of come back to you guys to let you know what I think about Trigwell. But yeah, that's nice. And I apologise, I normally have a light here, but it's died and it's charging, but you'll be able to see this side well, if nothing else. See, this is why this is handy. I don't know why they've changed the packaging. I love this little mirror. I mean, it's minuscule, but it does the job. And if you're wondering about these eye looks, I'll post the link for you guys below so you can see. Okay, and that's Sunset Sally. In fact, in a way, I think it's quite good that you can see it in like super bright light and not quite so bright light. And then just going to go in with a little bit of Lava Lady, and all I do there is just squeeze out a teensy wincy bit onto my finger. And what I've been doing is dabbing it on onto the high point. Just being careful not to go too overboard. Okay, other side. Okay, like that. Added a lot there. Oopsie. Can I shear it out? So that's Sunset Sally with Lava Lady as a liquid highlighter. I've just gone in very subtly because when I've used Lava Lady before, I've gone in a bit ham and it's been a lot. So I've learnt to just go in very, very gently. And what I might do is I'm just going to swatch them all on my arm. I might as well, so you can see them. So this, that's the highlight. Pretty Privilege, that's Mulberry Muse. Sunset Sally, Tropic Like It's Hot, and Burning Up. So just so you can see what they look like swatched out as well. It goes without saying, massive thank you to Zoe at Trigwell Cosmetics, who saw me have a rant about a product that I bought against my better judgment and thought to herself, that's not right, it's not left a good impression of the brand. So she's reached out to me and offered to send me some products and has followed through with that, because she had no need to do that. I think that's a level of customer service that goes way above and beyond, especially when you consider how much Zoe at Trigwell has actually sent me. My flabber was ghasted, I'm not going to lie, when the box turned up, especially as quickly as it did. And to send me this much to try is unreal. And I've really enjoyed using them, actually. I've mixed and matched them a little bit. I know one of them specifically called Sunset Sally, but I've had a go at a bit of a sunset look, and I have enjoyed them. And I think, yeah, looking at the swatches, it's reminded me that, yeah, Sunset Sally that I've applied today probably is my favourite. That's the one that I've been enjoying the most. Would I say redemption for Trigwell Cosmetics? Yeah, I mean, I would say that you can go in lightly, you can really build them up. This is quite subtle for me, to be honest, but you can really build them up if you would like to. And as long as you know what you're looking for, just if you're a deeper skin tone like me, be sensible. Don't get one that is more white leaning in the pigment. So one of the reasons I wasn't sure if I was going to like Pretty Privilege is because I wondered if maybe the pigment in there leaned a bit too white, but it doesn't actually. It does work on my skin tone. So I was curious about that when I first saw it. And I admit I wasn't convinced, but it does work. It does work. I've had these for a while now, but I wanted to try them properly. If you're a content creator and you've got a lot of followers, there's an onus on you to just be upfront. You know, if you're trying a product and it doesn't work on you, just say so. Because a lot of people are going to watch that and going to take it on face value and make purchases because they trust you, and if that's the thing I'm learning with TikTok, and you know, I'm trying to be more sensible when I'm on TikTok. I've done an entirely separate video. I think it was the Made by Mitchell video that I did, where I talked about the trap that's easy to fall into on TikTok, and I've been burnt now a couple of times, and I'm going to be more mindful of that when I'm going forward. But really, if you're an influencer, yes, I get it, you're influencing us to buy stuff, but don't influence us to buy shit that's not going to work for us. It's incredibly frustrating. Just be upfront. Just tell the truth. If it doesn't work for you, just say it doesn't work for you. If you think it's the best thing since sliced bread, great. But don't give stuff positive reviews just because you're afraid that a brand is going to turn around and say, you gave us a negative review, we're not going to supply you with PR anymore. It shouldn't be about that. You know, you need to, if you've got the following, if you do have that influence, make sure that you're using it for good and you're influencing people to buy good stuff and stuff that's going to work with them. Okay, here end of my rant on that. But as for Trigwell, yes, they do have products that work on a deeper skin tone. I've tried them, I've tested them, and I have enjoyed them. And something some of you may be thinking, how do they compare to your NYX blushes that I have raved about in previous videos? I still prefer my NYX blushes. I do. These are a matte formula. And there's a time and a place for a matte formula. And I think if I'm reaching for my Trigwell blushes, I'm going to be more inclined to also reach for a separate highlighter. Not to say, every now and again I have just used the blush, but this is a formula, because it's more on the matte side, I would potentially reach for a highlighter and combination. If I'm using the NYX blushes, they're glowy enough on their own. I don't feel like I need to go in with a highlighter. Plus, the pigment on the NYX blushes is insane. Insane. There's a lot of people saying they're too pigmented. In my opinion, there's no such thing as having a makeup product that's too pigmented. You just have to go in with a lighter hand. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. And I think that comes from the fact I have a deeper skin tone. So the more pigment for me, the better. So does it topple NYX Buttermelt blushes? Absolutely not. No. But does that mean I will not reach for these? No, I will. I definitely will. I enjoy them. I love the colours. I'll definitely reach for them, but they're not budging the NYX Buttermelt blushes from Topspot. Absolutely not. No. I'll leave it there. I've rambled and I've ranted a lot more than I intended to, but I just thought I wanted to give all the blushes a good try, let you know what I think, to let you know that I do rate Trigwell Cosmetics. I'd rate their customer service, obviously, and I would recommend their blushes. Maybe if you're one of the people who feels that NYX Buttermelt blushes is too pigmented, Trigwell Cosmetics blushes would be the ones I would recommend for you. If you're looking for pow, I want my blush to be seen from outer space, and you can remember, because sometimes I forget, but you can remember to go in with a less dense brush and, you know, gently, softly, then yeah, the NYX Buttermelt blushes are the ones for you. Formula wise, that's obviously going to be a determining factor. The NYX Buttermelts have got that glowy sheen to them. They smell delightful. Glowy blushes with lots of pigment. NYX blushes that you can build up slowly with a matte formula. Trigwell Cosmetics. Okay, now I really will stop. I've rambled for long enough. But I hope you found that video useful. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch, and hopefully I'll see you again in a video in the not too distant future. Take care. Bye.